Meeting to order at 7:03. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Amparano?
Here.
Councilmember Bernworth?
Here.
Councilmember Tucker?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Mendoza?
Here.
Mayor Obeso Martinez?
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right. All ready? Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Hey, Mr. Pete, wanna start us off?
Absolutely. Thank you. Is everybody ready? Let's begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any adjustments to the agenda?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We can move item C6 after C1, please.
Moving C6 to C under C, or
After C1?
after C1. Are we good?
So moved.
Well, do you need a roll call vote for that change?
Nope.
Nope. Moving on.
Who's second?
Me.
Edie.
Oh, I got to say.
Everybody say yes. You got it?
I'm getting it.
She's getting there.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. City Attorney.
During closed session today, the city council discussed two existing litigation items, the City of Imperial versus Imperial Valley Computer Manufacturing and Imperial Valley Manufacturing LLC versus City of Imperial. Direction was given to council. No further report. The council discussed one item of anticipated litigation, initiation of a litigation under Government Code Section 54956.9D4. Direction was given to council. The council discussed the public employee performance evaluation of the city manager. No reportable action. Council gave direction to the HR department and the city manager regarding the public employee appointment of city attorney. And we did not discuss conference with labor negotiators.
Thank you. All right. Public comment. If you wish to address the city council concerning any item within the city's jurisdiction, please raise your hand to be acknowledged by the mayor. At that time, please state your name and address for the record. The mayor reserves the right to place a limit of 3 minutes on each person's presentation. Do we have any by email? Just this one?
Just the one.
Okay. I'll talk on that one a little bit then. All right. So, Mr. Isaiah? We're going to allow for 3 minutes, okay? We're going to allow for 3 minutes.
Only 3 today?
Yeah.
Ooh, where do I start? Isaiah Gonzalez, 315 Butterfield Trail. Back to the same thing from the last time. I wanted to discuss some of the stuff you don't know about. So since I only have 3 minutes, let's go with the memo I received from Janelle Guerrero on, well, David, my two favorite people, March 13, 2025. There was instances where there was an instant in August of 2024 where I told her some things that had happened with the fire extinguisher contractor and told her exactly what happened. I've been asking, I have a text message history with the guy since 2018 and told the guy 2024, hey, April, I need this additional service to service the library for their fire sprinkler system. And then, so leading up to August, finally in August, they say, hey, I'm looking for somebody else. So he proceeds to tell me off a bunch of things he's going to do to me, stick things places, a bunch of inappropriate stuff. So started recording on my personal phone, related to Janelle, said, hey, he might come in on Monday to talk to you, whatever, not a big deal. But on my memo for On February 5th, 2025, the Fire Extinguisher Agency confirmed he will no longer work with you due to the disrespect and confrontational behavior. He informed you that you spoke to him like he was an idiot and that you presented aggressive behavior by entering his personal space. Additionally, he informed that he had to send another guy from the company to complete the job to avoid any further conflict you may present. Due to this decision, decision was made to coordinate services with other city employees. I have it's a lot of stuff, but I have all the text message screenshots between me and that individual and me and that individual's boss the same day in August that said, "Hey, Isaiah, this is Carlos. I want to, when can we come out?" I said, "Oh, well, after some stuff that happened with Art, it's all put on hold." And he's like, "Oh, well, talked to him, explained everything via text, gave it all to Dennis, and it's all here." But I will give that to you guys at the end of the meeting, or however the best way for that is to go about. So I don't know where it went from August, from telling her directly what happened to her doing her little investigation skit on February 5th, 2025, where it popped up in a memo. Like, it doesn't make any sense, considering that she brought it up February 5th. The memo was dated March 13th, and we have weekly meetings when I was placed on my PIP by her, signed by David, placed on my PIP. So every weekly meeting, you would assume she'd bring up all the issues.
Okay,
Is that my three?
that's your three. But please give whatever information that you want to the city clerk if you want it in record.
Oh, no, I want it here on record,
Okay.
but then I'll just come back for the next one.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
How do I request more time for the next time, or what do I go? Because I know I had requested it earlier.
Just generally, every week, we do typically allow only 3 minutes due to the scheduling, but the mayor has discretion depending on the topic and the urgency to change that, increase it, decrease it. So, you could, speak to the mayor, speak to the city manager's office.
Okay.
Thank you, Isaiah.
Thank you.
Okay, Pete Martinez with IBC.
Good evening, members of the City Council and members of the community. Thank you for allowing me to speak for a couple minutes. I had another friend of mine that is part of my presentation as was unable to make it here tonight, so I'll just try to make it brief. First of all, let me introduce myself again. My name is Peter Martinez. I'm a community educator. I'm a professor of education at a community college in Riverside County, and I travel back and forth, so just for the record. I'm also an organizer and the chair for the Women's and Law Enforcement Committee for Imperial Valley College Foundation and your area representative for the City of Imperial. I want to provide the council with an update and recent accomplishments that made possible by our continued collaboration through concept of sharing ideas to strengthen partnerships. I want to give a special thanks to you as a city council for occasional visits that I make to provide you with information about higher education activities. Through our collaborative or collective efforts, we've strengthened relationships in my past years as a board member for education. Through our collective efforts, we've strengthened relationships, expanded opportunities, enhanced services directly to benefit the individuals and families as a whole. So thank you to Mr. Amparano, who represents not only the council and the community. He's been heavily involved in our community partnerships to strengthen students to greater avenues of education. These accomplishments reflect the power of partnership, our shared commitment addressing community needs through cooperation, innovation, and mutual support. By working together, we have been able to extend resources to create meaningful connections and possibly impact underserved populations through our region. So 2 days ago, we closed our books on a major win for women. Women in law enforcement were provided 143 young women at IVC that had the tools to create their future, and we raised a little over $10,000, Ms. Obeso Martinez. Why is that so important? Because we're trying to balance the law enforcement, programs throughout the state of California from a ratio of 3 to 5, something to that nature. So that's important to us, and we delivered our 14th scholarship this past 2 days ago in Calexico with giving every single student with a scholarship of $604. So we did fantastic. And just for the record, we're planning to have our second annual Women in Law Enforcement event scheduled for January 29th on a Friday at IVC again. So I want to thank you for the ongoing dedication, your leadership, your willingness to hear me out, and to support process like education, to support communities, to support our schools, and support Imperial Valley College as well. So with that final note, I want to say thank you for building this relationship and the work that we have in front of us for years to come.
Mr. Martinez.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Folks.
Esmeralda Chacon?
Oh, I'm sorry, she was not able to make it, so I do.
Okay. Okay. So that one is no. These two, you want them with the item, correct, Mr. Scurries? Yes? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, sounds good. All right, moving on to presentations. A1, presentation by Victoria Topete on the Chalk the Walk winners.
All right, good evening, council. So we actually just have a quick little video to show you of all the entries as well as the artwork by the winners themselves. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it tonight, so I do apologize for that, but we still wanted to show off their hard work. So we can go ahead and play that now. They're so cute.
While we're waiting for that, so they were here last week, but we had a very lively meeting. So unfortunately, they had to leave early, the students, but we wanted to at least acknowledge them and show off the amazing artwork that they did. We'll get there. That's so cute.
Yeah, so we just want to say thank you.
Yeah, I wish the kids were here. We could have properly, recognized them, but hopefully they'll come back to get recognized at some point.
Yeah, hopefully, or we hope to do this Chalk the Walk again, so hopefully they, participate again and we can show off a bunch
We
more
should do a
artwork.
theme one, like back to school, maybe Christmas.
Definitely, we'll take that into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, this is cool. I love it. I love seeing the kids get engaged.
Going through all those, it was hard to choose because some of them are just very, very nice.
They're very
And,
creative. Yeah,
hopefully next year it makes it even more difficult to choose.
of course. And we hope council wants to vote again.
They all can definitely do better than I can. So they're all winners.
They all are winners. Okay. Any comment? All right. Moving on to consent agenda. All items appearing under the consent agenda will be acted upon by the city council with one motion without discussion. Should any council member or any other person request that the item be considered separately, that item will be taken up at that time as determined by the mayor.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a first and a second. try to vote. This new system is tricky.
In order to read this, you have to open it, and then when the vote comes on, it's like this big.
I know.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. I did want to read into, just mention what Mario Conde said regarding he's the president of the Rotary Club of Calexico, representing Imperial Valley, regarding the Rotary Action Group on Mental Health Initiatives, District 5340, serving San Diego and Imperial counties. So we're happy to pass this Mental Health Month in the city of Imperial. And he couldn't be here tonight, but we did want to acknowledge that. Thank you. All right. Moving on to C1. The approval of their urgency ordinance number 834 establishing a temporary moratorium, presented by Mr. Oton.
Good evening, Council. Before you tonight is an interim urgency ordinance establishing a temporary 45-day moratorium on data centers, high-performance computing facilities, battery energy storage systems, large-scale utility support facilities, and similar high-energy industrial uses. The city has recently experienced interest in these emerging uses, including a previously proposed 250 megawatt data center within the city and a separate 330 megawatt data center proposal currently being processed within the county and the city's sphere of influence. These projects can create a significant impact related to electrical demand, emergency response capabilities, water consumption, noise, air quality, land use compatibility, and public services. Currently within our zoning ordinance, data centers are not included in any of the zones, therefore not permitted. But we would like to address them within interim urgency ordinance. The purpose of this ordinance is not to prohibit development or discourage investment. Rather, it provides the city time to evaluate these uses and develop clear regulations that protect public health and safety while providing certainty for future applicants. State law limits the initial ordinance to 45 days, and during that period, we will research industry practices. We coordinate with utility providers and public safety agencies. We'll review regulations from other jurisdictions and begin drafted permanent zoning and development standards. We also recognize that 45 days may not be sufficient. So within those 45 days, we'll do a public hearing and I'll request the City Council an extension under Government Code Section 65858. As a final statement, I just want to make it clear that the City of Imperial remains committed to economic development and we welcome responsible investment. This ordinance is not a pause on economic development. It is a pause to ensure that the city has the appropriate regulations in place before these projects move forward. Staff recommends that the City Council adopts this urgency ordinance and directs staff to continue evaluating appropriate zoning and development standards for these uses. I'll answer any questions that you may have.
We'll start with our public comment. Mr. Christopher Scurries.
All right. Hey, good evening, City Council. I want to start by congratulating Dr. Obeso on her campaign. While I don't believe the results have been certified yet, it does appear that you will go toe-to-toe with the incumbent this November, and I look forward to casting my vote for you. Anyway, I wasn't initially planning on coming tonight, and I still have full confidence that our City Council will do the right thing by passing this moratorium. And it is my hope that by passing it, in addition to looking at all of these things that our staff is talking about when it comes to responsible development, I hope that there's also a conversation about banning data centers within those 45 days and potentially beyond. But anyway, I came here tonight because our neighbors to the north in Brawley initially had a 3/5 majority to place a moratorium, and but last night one of their city council members flipped. And I want the folks in this room and on this dais to remember the names of Perry Monita, John Grass, and especially Tim Kelly, a man steeped in controversy who demands respect from the community even in the wake of some of the most antagonistic comments a so-called public leader could make, a man of no poise and no integrity, a man who has evaded a $6 million in taxes through loopholes meant to serve churches and hospitals, but instead has gone to the detention center, and I'm sure that is just the tip of the iceberg. So a moratorium, to get back on subject, is just a simple gesture in the wake of such controversy. Regardless on where anyone stands on data centers, it's an action that operates in good faith and by the book. That isn't done with feckless resolutions and ad hoc committees stacked with pro-data center advocates. It's done with action, and I look forward to seeing that action through tonight. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jake Tyson?
Hi, Mayor Ida and Imperial City Council. I'm Jake Tyson. I actually live in El Centro, but when it comes to data centers, it doesn't matter where you live in this county. It's going to affect you. And putting a moratorium in place, whether it's 45 days or 4 days, it doesn't matter. It needs to happen because it takes courage. And I think this body has that courage to do it, because when we look around, as of yesterday, you know, I was in the city of El Centro, I talked to them, and then I left, and then I heard, you know, a certain city council member by the name of Marty Elliott. He starts talking about, oh, well, you know, we got to compete with China. Who knows what that means? Competing with China. Does anybody know what that really means? I don't think he has any idea what he's talking about when he's saying that, because he's hearing it from other people. He's parroting it from someone else. Okay? And I think that other person is this guy named Tim Kelly. He's the mayor pro tem of Brawley, and he comes to the board of supervisors, and he introduces himself as a CEO of IVEDC, and he puts profit before people when he does that, and that's what he kind of does. Oh, that's kind of what he did last night, because he influenced somebody to flip the vote, because they do not have courage. It takes courage to do what you're doing, to stand up to big tech, you know, tax break millionaires, billionaires. It takes a lot of courage. And now the city of Calexico, they're fighting about it right now. You know, and especially, you know, our board of supervisors. I mean, you should have seen it yesterday. It was like, they were just, you know, they didn't have their friend Barry Bean there. So they didn't have someone text them for the answers. So they just fell apart at the seams. They walked into that building. They didn't know what they were doing. And I still don't know why they walk in there, because they know that the harm that they were bringing into this valley was going to bring catastrophic risk to this neighborhood. And they're being sued for it. And they're still not understanding or realizing the fact that the Sierra Club is pounding stakes into the ground. And they're going to set up camp here. So, you know, this little familial, you know, party is coming to an end for the Kelly family. And, you know, Rancho Los Lagos and Mesquite Lake, you know, and who knows what we're going to find out this week. It seems like every week we're finding out about another data center that's coming in from underneath the rug, you know, without CEQA. So, yeah, don't produce a moratorium, then you're going to just accept all the lawsuits that are going to come. You know, it's people, planet, then profit. And if data centers are like the thing that you think is going to save some financial crisis that you put this county in, you got another thing coming. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And Ida, you rock.
Thank you. Ms. Fabiola Moreno?
Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Fabiola Moreno and I work with IBW 569, representing 3,700 union electricians across Imperial County and San Diego. We know that moratoriums often seem like a harsh word, or like they could drive industry away, and you know, a lot of different people see them in different ways, but we do think that this presents an opportunity to bring community members to the table to work with all of you, with your staff, for the purpose of prioritizing community needs, the environment, and to establish regulations and safety standards for data center development. The electricians that we represent will be the frontline workers on these projects and lifelong residents of this community. So we are asking and wondering the same questions as others. Different things like how will we ensure that there is local hire provisions, how will ratepayers be protected, and how are we working with public safety to create concrete plans. IBW 569 has been part of the community for decades. Staff members, our union members, live in this community, which is why we are here repeating the same questions that most of the community has been asking for several months. Data center projects present a whole new industry, which requires new regulations and safety standards for the community, and we look forward to working with the City of Imperial to continue these vital conversations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pete Rodriguez?
Good evening, members of the council. My name is Peter Rodriguez. I really was not going to speak today, but thank you to my group back there. They encouraged me. I was at the meeting yesterday at the Board of Supervisors, and what's really interesting is when Supervisor Ryan Kelly is repeating word verbatim that his cousin Tim Kelly did it at the Broadway City Council meeting. So they texted each other the same information, and it's a bunch of crap. They're not economic experts. They're coyotes. They just want to cut, take what they can get, and leave. What you are doing takes courage. And I'm pretty sure you have criticism behind your stance today. But it takes courage to stand to those. And yesterday, the best public speaker at the County Board of Supervisors was a little girl that her mom held up to speak, because she's too small to get up here and speak. It was an emotional moment. Thank God I was able to hold it together. But that little girl rocked. And if that little girl stands for something, we all should stand for something. We all know it's not good. So God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? All right. Any comments from City Council?
Nothing for me.
I'd just like to thank the community for their support. And I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
I think there's quite a few things that established with this moratorium. As one, it's the pause that gives our community, we have a lot of community who this causes a lot of anxiety, for one, that's coming into their sphere of influence. But I think it shows them that, like, one of our goals, I think there's, for as a community or as a council and all five of us, I think one of our biggest things that values that we have is the quality of life for our residents. And I don't think that at any time like that varies from any of the five of our values. And so I think this puts a pause, the pause that's needed in place so our staff can get educated, because these data centers are rapidly expanding. They're a very new technology, and there's a lot of question marks, right? Like there's, I'm a scientist by trade, and so in God we trust, all others must bring the data. And it's so ironic to me that there's not the data for the data center. And so I really look forward to seeing what our staff can, find out and put in place and put in safeguards and continue, what we find out and educate the public and just have the information for ourselves to see if or these fit into our community.
I think, to echo the sentiments, we care about the community. This is one of the best places to live, and we feel in the whole county, and we value our residents, we value our community, and we want economic development, but we want it to be smart. We want it to be, we want a prosperous city, but we also want to make sure that our residents are protected. And when we think about this giant thing that could be potentially next to homes and the fire hazards and a lot of the unknowns so far. And this allows us to put a pause on that, to find out more information, to be more informed, and to make sure our residents are safe, first and foremost. So that, we have one motion. I'm happy to entertain a second.
I'll second. Amparano, I think, already.
Oh, I think, yeah.
You did? So we have a first and a second. Please vote.
Motion passes 5-0.
Everybody for coming out. We do appreciate you taking the time that you could be doing something else on a Wednesday evening, so we thank you for that. We have some happy news. We're going to talk about C6 right now, and we're really excited that you guys hopefully will stay and learn about this. The approved equipment purchase for the new City of Imperial fire engine, which is outside there, presented by Mr. Victor.
I actually will defer to Chief.
All right.
Honorable Madam Mayor and council members, it is pure joy today, to bring this vehicle to you guys. It's a $1.2 million investment that the city has made into its community and into its fire department as well. So we greatly appreciate the support. It's something that we actually see. It's not something that is promised. So we appreciate the fact that you guys have made this investment. The item before you is for purchase of equipment that's going to complement the fire truck that sits outside tonight. We wish to have 2 fully outfitted pieces of equipment that belong to the city of Imperial. You have 3, but at the very least, we want to have some flex capacity in the event of a major disaster. Gives us the opportunity to be able to actually put another piece of equipment into service.
Thank you, guys.
You guys,
Thank you.
Are they using the new truck?
Although,
Yeah.
sorry.
Are they using the new truck yet?
No, not yet. We're being very deliberate with the vehicle. We want to make sure that the day that it goes into service, it won't come back out of service for, this or that, right? We want to make sure radios are in, headsets are in, that they have everything they need in order to be able to provide the best service that we can provide to this community. So before you is an item in which we're requesting, if I'm not mistaken, $120,000 in funding. That's going to equate to fire hose, equipment that goes onto the fire engine, rescue equipment, cardiac equipment, cardiac monitors, medical equipment, EMS equipment, and supplies, including medications. And that should be the piece of equipment that sits outside should be good for about 10 years frontline, 15 years in reserve. And the equipment that we are asking should be able to survive those 15 years on the operator.
so definitely got to sit in the back of the engine having a conversation, sat in the front, very nice, very different from what I was used to. No air conditioner, open cab, loud, hot, but definitely nice to see. It was a long time coming, and I know it's difficult sometimes, but we try. My real question is going to be, who gets to use it first? And how is it going to go out? So.
Sir, with most respect, it doesn't matter anymore because I drove it this way, so it's okay. That was the first.
So is that a seniority kind of thing?
Well, somebody drove it from Wisconsin here, right? I wish I would have done that, but I had the opportunity to drive it from Ontario, and that piece of equipment rides super nice on the highway. It's got a really good size engine, transmission complement, and everything about it is just beautiful.
Thank you. And I did get a chance to talk to the engineer, and he was telling me that it does drive very different. And I said, okay, what does that mean? He says, it's really nice. Just from grabbing the steering wheel to just the way it sits and rides down the road. So I know that it goes part with this is, who gets to go first? How do we do that? Because that's going to be a memory for somebody to have for a long time.
If I may, sir, I think your option to go with, we'll put 3 shifts in a hat and somebody pulls it out.
I think Councilmember Amparana really wants to go first, is what he's saying.
No, I
It's $1.2 million. He really wants to go first. Just Robert, we know. It's okay. I'm just kidding.
You want to sit in the passenger seat?
I want to drive.
You know what? I do like that idea of put it in a hat and see who goes first. Let the mayor pick.
She shampoo.
No, definitely, we can put those in a hat and have the mayor or whoever you guys decide, pick a name out or
I'm biased. I don't
shift
have to like me first. Just kidding.
It's like there's privileges of being mayor.
The other thing that I came, looking at our logo on the side, name on the top, looks very, very nice, but our firemen still wear county logos. something I was thinking that they do in the city of Hopeville where they combine the sheriff logo with the Hopeville logo. Maybe if that's something that we can look into, how do we combine the two?
As long as that cost isn't on those guys.
We already pay $120,000 for a truck a year.
Something
We'll
different.
figure that out.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea to look at something different.
I'd be happy to work with you if you're the person, right, to work on this item and
Look at
develop a
cost.
few options for you guys to decide.
Awesome, thank you.
Katie,
Soul moved to approve.
any comments?
No, I mean, at the end of the day, I think for me, like I joke about like it's $1.2 million. It's going to last 10, maybe 15 years. So it's either between $80,000 to $120,000 a year that we pay for this. But at the end of the day, like it's a small price to pay to make sure that one, that you protect our communities, but two, that we, give the proper tools to the emergency services to get home safely to your family as well. So.
Stacy or James?
I just thank you for all the hard work from the county to make this happen, and thank you, Victor, for finding a way to pay for it.
Don't thank me yet.
Once that first check clears. And just, not only are we proud here on the dais, but I'm hoping that those watching on Facebook that are community members of the city of Imperial, that you're proud too, because this is your equipment. And like Katie said, it's going to ensure that the services are there for you and you received the best of services and, reliable services, as well as, keeping our firefighters safe.
James?
I'm good.
It's beautiful. It's like a shiny new car. It smells new. It's much pride, right? That the city of Imperial purchased a fire truck. We have one of the safest police. Now we have the safest fire and the equipment available for our guys and girls out there. So you can get home safe. So we thank you for that, for being out there. So I have a first by Miss Katie.
Okay.
I have a second by Robert. Please vote.
Motion passes 5-0.
Awesome. Congratulations. All right, we're moving back to C2, acceptance of work completed for Eaton Road Rehabilitation Project between Valoria Way and Old SR 86. Project number STPL 5134. Mr. Othon.
Good evening. Before you, it's CIP number 817. This is a project rehab from Vilore on Eaton Boulevard from Vilore to SR 86. The project was completed last year on July 31st, 2025. The work was completed as per improvement plans, and the final quantities have been accounted in the balancing change order. In the backup, you'll see that there was a change order for adding a 20-inch sewer line on Eaton for phase 1. We had a change order. We added a little bit of curb and gutter. There was another change order for the relocation of a water line touching a sewer line, and a change of balancing order of a credit of $74,121.99. At this time, staff recommends approval of the balancing change orders, acceptance of work, and authorize city clerk to file a notice of completion. And I'll stand for any questions that you may have.
No question. Me? Anybody else? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second from somebody.
Second.
All right. We have a first and a second. Stacy and Katie, please vote.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Moving on to C3, approval of the community development permit streamlining report by Mr. Othon.
We have Brady online. He will do a presentation for us.
And I think we have that in our packet here too.
That's correct. Good evening, Mayor and council members. I want to start with, can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Fantastic. All right, well, thank you for your time tonight. My name is Brady Woods. I'm a planning consultant with GHD in Irvine, California. I'm a 25-year professional with a decade of City Hall experience, serving as a city planning manager and acting community development director for cities in California and in Florida. Now, getting right into it, the city's community development, or CD department, applied for a regional early action planning, or REAP grant, in late 2024. REAP grants are administered by the Southern California Association of Governments, or SCAG. The grant funding would enable the city department to deliver user-friendly visual guides, evaluate policy documents for state compliance, and improve coordination across building, planning, engineering, and fire divisions. To assist in achieving these goals, the CD department conducted a competitive bidding process and selected GHD to aid in preparation of the requested recommendations and visual guides. GHD received our notice to proceed and start work on the project in mid-January 2026. We then conducted stakeholder interviews in March and April, and I'll detail this later in the presentation. And on May 13th of this year, the City Plan Commission reviewed the proposed recommendations and approved Resolution PC 2026-06, recommending City Council adopt and implement the streamlining recommendations. Now, as part of their approval, the Plan Commission also requested that the visual guides be translated into Spanish, which City Director Mora stated the department would comply with. Now, here we are in June to present our final findings and final deliverables in front of this esteemed body for final approval tonight. Now, getting into why the City Department chose to undertake this task, the project aims to streamline development approvals through clear guidance and simplified permitting to support housing production and meet the city's housing element goals. This also aligns with the SCAG grant goals of accelerating infill housing approval through clear ministerial pathways, reducing discretionary barriers to affordable housing, lowering VMT, or vehicle miles traveled, by supporting housing element consistent infill, and improving interdepartmental coordination and applicant readiness to reduce delays. Now, with the understanding of the project's goals, the City Department developed 3 distinct project objectives. 1, to gather stakeholder input and feedback. 2, develop the permit streamlining and operational recommendations. And 3, create visual guidelines for entitlement and permits. GHD conducted initial research of relevant state laws that regulate municipal permitting and housing development, including the 1977 Permit Streamlining Act, the Housing Accountability Act, and the HB 35 Streamlining Ministerial Approval Process Bill, which is currently the backbone of the state's requirements for streamlining residential development, as well as other pieces of legislation. We assess these laws against the city's current policy documents and standards to determine their level of compliance with what has been coming out of Sacramento. Now, through 30-minute virtual interviews, the city staff, the County Fire Department, the Imperial Valley Housing Authority, and local builders, our team was able to gather input from those directly involved in the home building process. Key takeaways from those interviews included the need for clearer upfront guidance and visual tools, a preference for predictable timelines, opportunities to apply unified objective development standards, and delays caused by fragmented reviews that can affect project funding, especially for affordable housing. Now, the full summaries of the stakeholder interviews have been included in the appendix of our final report. Now, based on our research and stakeholder input, we were able to develop streamlining recommendations by evaluating current regulations and internal operations against a 4-question rubric. 1, what is the city doing today? 2, what does the state law or guidance require? 3, what changes does the city need to make? And 4, how should the city implement or administer these changes? Now, as mentioned, we evaluated many of the city's existing policies, so I won't present all of them tonight. But the following slides do feature some examples. First is the ADU ordinance. So in applying our 4-question rubric, 1, what is the city doing today? The current policy in the books is outdated. And as such, the city currently relies on state HCD guidance for reviewing ADU applications. Today, the city's zoning code states that ADUs are only permissible via discretionary conditional use permit, or CUP. 2, what does state law or guidance require? The ADUs must be approved ministerially and must meet state minimum standards. And as of 2023, cities must now have a pre-approved ADU plan program in place. 3, what changes does the city need to make? Well, city needs to repeal the outdated language and provisions referring to second single-family dwelling with a kitchen and adopt a standalone ADU section aligned with state requirements. Allow ADU development by right in all residential zones and other zones where residential uses are allowed, as well as several other actions. And 4, how should the city implement the changes? Well, publish an ADU checklist with minimum plan requirements and provide pre-approved templates or sample plans to reduce incomplete applications. Now, switching over to our operational recommendations, we again looked at multiple CD department procedures, processes, and workflows and applied our 4-question rubric. So in evaluating interdepartmental coordination, which was a hot topic during our stakeholder interviews, 1, what is the city currently doing? Well, the county fire department plan review typically takes place outside of the city's main workflow and is inconsistently coordinated. This results in long and unpredictable permit review timelines. 2, what does state law require? Well, that cities meet statutory housing permit timelines and not delay approvals through fragmented review. 3, what changes does the city need to make? Among other actions, create a fire site plan review submittal checklist and require an intake for projects that trigger fire review. And 4, how should the city implement the changes? Well, bundle the fire department's comments with city comments into one consolidated correction letter and consider assigning a dedicated staff coordinator responsible for transmitting completed packages and receiving consolidated fire comments, as well as other options. Now, after developing our recommendations, we then created an implementation phasing plan, understanding that changes cannot be accomplished, enhanced, or improved overnight. So we broke down the recommendations into near term, or 0 to 12 months, midterm, 12 to 24 months, and long-term timeframes beyond 2 years, as well as continuous actions needed for annual, biannual, or ongoing compliance. These actions and phasings are further detailed in our streamlining recommendations report. Last, our team created 15 separate visual guides for various entitlement and permitting workflows, including those of fire, planning, engineering, and building. Our goal for the guides was for them to be comprehensive, but also easy to digest by the community. This includes developers who are already knowledgeable of the permitting process, as well as those residents who would just need a simple permit for a room addition. The guides walk applicants step by step through the entitlement and permitting process, clarifying each stage from submittal to approval, permit issuance, and obtaining a certificate of occupancy or completion. The new guides feature application and submittal requirements, the findings necessary to determine approval, hyperlinks to pertinent city documents such as the permit fee schedule, sample illustrations, and special processing notes. So in closing, the Community Development Department Permanent Streamlining Recommendations Project supports the city's goals by aligning the city's housing review process with state streamlining laws, shifting entitlement review toward clear objective standards and early eligibility checks, establishing predictable workflows, especially for affordable housing projects and ADUs, reducing approval timeframes, costs, and uncertainty for developers, and hopefully improving staff efficiency while increasing housing production. That concludes my presentation. I appreciate your time and attention. I stand available for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? No, ma'am.
Who's taking the questions?
Either or.
Either or. So one of the questions I looked on this, what they were saying is the requirements for the ADU is look at parking. How are we going to address parking? Because, and I'm going to use this example. I have a friend that lives in El City of El Centro. Across the street, they have 2 houses next to each other that have ADUs, and the whole street's taken up because they don't have a driveway, they don't have any of that stuff or whatever it is, and so everybody's parking on the street. So How are we gonna be able to address something like that so we don't get into those jams and binds?
How do I put it? The state has taken, oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
So as you may already know, I mean, the state has taken a little bit of our leverage, to require parking, especially on any ADUs. We see that throughout. We haven't heard in the state of Imperial a lot, but I've heard that in other jurisdictions, such as Calexico and El Centro, that it has become a big problem of parking. It's the whole block is packed. The state has it. We're very limited of what we can do or ask for. So they took some of the requirements away for parking, additional parking. We used to be if you enclose a garage, then you have to provide a 2-car garage or a carport or similar. It all depends where you live, where you're located. Now there's nothing we can do. That's the state.
So there's,
That's the short answer. And
I do think there's some creative ways for new developments to up the standards, assuming that things will be, so Ozone can work with the department to
Correct.
try to plan for the future or put other parking lots and things
yes,
like
so
that.
on new development coming up as part of our CEQA review, our MND, whatever that is, or whatever level that is, we are taking the June ADUs, as well as SB9 into consideration within that plan. So at that point, we are going to be able to address those issues that we are currently having.
Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
I have a first by Katie and a second by James. Please vote.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Have a great night.
Thank you. C4, award contract for the city apartments remodel project bid number 2026-03 by Mr. Morita.
Yes, Mr. Garcia will be presenting.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and council members. The next item before you is a remodel project, which we previously spoke of for our city apartments. You'll recall we recently did the window replacement project out of our PLHA grant funds. From that grant, we still have approximately $352,000 left, and so we put out for bids, receiving 3 bids back, and that was, we designed it because we weren't sure if we were gonna be able to do both our projects, both kitchens and bathrooms are both significantly needed in those apartments, remodels. They haven't been done in quite some time. So thankfully we did get some bids back and they're all within the ballpark and we'll be able to move forward with both projects if approved. So we would like to approve, your approval to award that to Busted Knuckles Construction. Interesting name. One of the nice things is they are local from Imperial here, which is always nice to see a local contractors getting some work from the city. And with that, if approved, we'll move forward with the contractor to start developing a timetable, as these are all occupied residents, so we'll have to make arrangements for that, as well as putting together staff and probably some of the tenants to select some model designs and color configurations for both the bathrooms and kitchens.
Do they have a representative here tonight?
No, they do not.
Okay.
Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Mr. James. Second. We have a first by Mr. James and Ms. Stacy, second. Please vote.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
I will note too, just really quick, that we also received approval on the release of funds for the 5th round to that grant cycle, which is another 72,000 that we should be receiving any day now. So
Very nice.
we'll definitely have enough funds to complete this project.
C5, Declaration of Imperial Police Department 2018. Wow, Ford Fusion as surplus.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and Council. We're looking to surplus one of our detective vehicles. It was purchased used in 2020. It was purchased with grant funds. Kelly Blue Book on it right now is about $8,000 to $10,000, but unfortunately experienced a catastrophic engine failure, and the initial estimates to replace the engine is about $6,000. That comes directly from Public Services staff, and so the effort to abandon the vehicle for the cost of maintenance nearing the total value of the vehicle outweighs the benefits of trying to salvage a 7.5-year-old car.
Thank you. Questions?
It was only driven on Sunday.
So it's a detective car, and he lives in close proximity to the station.
All right.
Did it get
All right,
wrecked?
thank you.
One more time?
Did it get wrecked?
No, I did not. We haven't had an accident since 2024.
We're very happy. Comments, questions?
I'll make a motion or second.
We have a first and a second. Who was first, but
James.
we'll say Robert and James. Please vote.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. All right, we're on to reports, department reports. Mr. Othon, you're up
I
again.
have nothing to add tonight.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Chanel?
I do, and be a little long-winded on this one. I just want to, probably sound like a broken record, but just say that thanks to the group that we have in public services, those guys are out there and they're always doing a lot of work, you know, in the heat and the cold and every hour that they need to be out there. Just want to give a little quick rundown. Our wastewater division, and this is kind of a summary of for the month of May, they were out there jetting some of the sewer lines to make sure that everything's flowing smoothly, that we don't have any blocks or anything like that. They've been repairing and maintaining a lot of our lift stations. And as you guys know, city has 16 lift stations that belong to us that they got to take care of. So they're making sure that's moving. Our water division has been repairing meters, endpoints, they're taking care of leaks. They even did preventive maintenance on their chlorine systems to make sure, the water's good. Streets division, they've been doing striping in some of the subdivisions. They completed also the bus stop parking at the senior apartments. So now that one section on 11th Street is done. No parking on that one side except for buses. Fleets division, they're taking care of our fleets, heavy equipment, PD vehicles, factors, everything that we got going to make sure everything's operating. Facilities has been taking care of all the HVAC preventive maintenance for our city buildings. They're ensuring that the AEDs are actually installed in all the departments because they didn't have them before, and they go and test and make sure the batteries are working. They're making sure all the fire extinguishers and stuff are, up to date, and if we didn't have them somewhere, those are being put in also. And they've actually updated all the safety kits that we have, and then our actual fleets now have first aid kits and everything that they didn't have before. And some of our heavy equipment is getting those fire extinguishers too, just so we can keep safety going with those. I want to wrap that up kind of more in a statistical manner so you guys have some numbers of what they were doing. So with the jetting of lines or the hydro jetting, they've done about 5,500 plus linear feet of line. Our wastewater plant has also reviewed about 10,000 linear feet of CCTV that's been done for the manholes. So they look at those, send, information over to Sewer AI, who does all the NASCO coding for us. So we'll have an updated database. 4 membrane bioreactor systems and 1 disinfectant bank were cleaned and maintained. They've also repaired about 5 lift stations this month. It was maintenance, repair, preventive, just make sure everything was moving. 15 water meters were replaced, 17 endpoint components replaced, 3 solar street lights were installed, 3 roadway segments have been weed abated, which was Highway 86, Marshall, and Crossroads, and debris was also removed from all those areas. The 2 subdivisions that received striping, it was the updated limit line, stop legends, and fire hydrant areas. Those were Paseo del Sol and Sunset, the Sunset subdivisions, and they're going to be going through the rest of them. They're changing out the regular paint that we normally put the white to thermoplastic because it's gonna last, a whole lot longer. It's gonna look a whole lot nicer than what we got going on. 5 service line leaks were repaired, and that was done between water and the streets division. As I mentioned, the bus stop. And then with fleets themselves, the maintenance that they had done was on 30 vehicles. That included vehicles plus equipment, which was 18 city vehicles, 6 pieces of heavy equipment, 2 trailers, the Vactors, and 2 police vehicles. So just they stay busy. They don't always know what they're doing, or it's not always put out there. But I want to give you some numbers that you guys know that they're moving and they're doing what they need to be doing, and very proud of them. So,
thank you.
If I may, one of the questions that was asked to me, if we can revisit the parking along Neckel Road between 86 and Rodeo. On the south side around the condos. I guess it was painted red and now the red's gone and I don't know how cars are stacking up or.
Yeah, I'll have them look at that. And then what we're also doing too with the red, we're using thermal on those too, just so we can start making everything last longer. So we're going from paint to something that's going to give us a longer lifespan.
Okay.
And that way we won't have to be, it won't fade as fast, but I'll have them look at that.
Robert loves
It's my favorite.
thermoplastic is very expensive.
Yeah.
It's Robert's
Whatever.
favorite.
We purchased a good amount that we can cover for the year. We're not having to continuously go back, and they're using it when they need to. They're not just going out there and if it's not fully faded, they're not just slapping it over. It's
And
when it
street
needs to be
sweeping, we
done.
can tell. It
Yeah.
looked really nice. So thank you.
Thank you. Miss Victoria.
So we're happy to report that starting next week, we're going to be having a week-long training for all of our lifeguards and rec leaders. So they're preparing for all of our summer programs, making sure they're nice and prepped for just anything that may happen and making sure that they're comfortable and ready for hosting the community. And with that, on Monday, June 15th, all of our programs are set to launch. So all of our swim lessons, all of our day camps, all of our activities that we're offering this summer. So we just continue to encourage the community to sign up. We still have availability for some of our camps. So if they have any questions, they can reach out to our department directly and we're more than happy to help them.
I'm sending all the positive vibes, Tylenol, whatever you need.
No
hydration.
injuries.
No injuries.
No accidents.
Thank you. Mr. Alejandro?
Nothing to report tonight.
Thank you. Chief Real?
So the effort to approve the recruit position all the way back in February has borne fruit. Our newest recruit graduates tomorrow, and he will promote on Monday to a full-time police officer and start our field training program. So thank you for your effort.
Very cool. Nice.
Awesome.
Not Chief Lancer, but Chief Senior.
Madam Mayor, no additional comment. Thank you.
Enriquez.
Yes, for me, more of a question. So we're already close to the end of the year. So with the budget and all that, still ongoing negotiations. What I discussed with Mr. Morita, 2% budget without any changes to salary and benefits, as presented in the workshop. So we can move along with the spending once we start July 1st. If that's how council prefers, I can have everything ready for next session, plus a presentation.
Love it.
Okay,
Thank you.
will do. Thank you.
Kristen?
So we have a few new hires to share with you. We have our seasonal staff. We did have quite a few returning seasonal staff from last year. And so today we are going to introduce our new ones. And so we have Melody Magana and Alyssa Guzman, who are recreation leaders. And then we have Iris Sainz and Nicole Vargas, lifeguards. We have Caitlin, Kylie, and Kelsey Baragioda. All lifeguards. And then we have Charlene Toledo and Audrey Harmon, also lifeguards. And Clarissa Sheehan and Landon Carrillo, lifeguards as well. And then Dana Knight, also a lifeguard. And so they will be helping Victoria and all the Parks and Rec staff this summer.
Very cool. Mr. Garcia?
Thank you, Mayor. I have nothing for tonight.
Our fearless leader, Mr. Marita?
Nothing for me this evening.
Hey.
Nothing?
Nothing else?
No.
No graduations? No?
No.
No? Okay.
I know this year I'm clear. Next year it's a lot.
Robert?
No, just got graduation tomorrow.
All right.
My little one gets out of 8th grade, graduation promotion. Other than that, I'm just happy to see all the action that's happening around the city. So thank you guys for all the hard work. Really appreciate it.
Miss Katie?
Nothing to report.
Mr. James?
Nothing. Nothing.
Just quickly, I had the opportunity, during the last council meeting, I wasn't here because I was able to attend the International Council of Shopping Centers Conference in Las Vegas. My first opportunity, even after all the years of being an economic development manager, I was never able to attend that. So having the opportunity this year was quite amazing to see the wheeling and dealing that goes on at that convention center. So thank you for the opportunity to attend that. Unfortunately, because I wasn't here, one of the things I do enjoy seeing is whenever we're able to honor our employees. So I wasn't here for Officer Amaya's presentation as Officer of the Year. So thank you, Officer Amaya, if you're listening, for all your hard work and your dedication to the city, and congratulations on your Officer of the Year award.
I don't have anything to report, at least not yet. So with that, we'll end it at 8:08.